Time to move on, right? Okay, so many years ago, I started doing the same process to this one. This has been sanded both inside and outside. I don't know where I left off with the sandpaper, so I may pick up at 600 or 800. And definitely am not going to use that buffer out in the pool house. Alright, this has been through 600, 800, 1000, and the 1200-1500 sanding sponge. Clearly I have to repaint this interior part. That's alright. I'm going to try another polishing method now, hopefully with better success. I'm going to start with the ultra finishing polish. I don't know if I need to use this ultra cut compound with this cutting pad. If this won't get me the finish I need on here, then I'll go to this and follow it up with this. Here's the magic tool I'm going to use today. 6-inch dual action polisher from, guess where? I've used this thing quite a bit. By the way, when you buy it, you need to take it apart and grease the gear drive in here. They put like this little teeny blob of grease in there. It is not sufficient. Here we go with the new process. I don't think this finishing polish is going to do much, but I'm going to try it first. Like I said, lesser rather than more initially. Try a little spot on the top. I am going to start on the bottom, but I just want to see what works first. I don't think there's any way I'm going to fling this thing across the yard using this tool. Hope not. Actually, I'm going to have to flip it over and do the bottom side of this at the same time to see if it clears up. Over here. I think it would be a lot better with a smaller tool. This is not fitting in here very well. Yeah, that's not doing much of anything. I'm going to have to go to the cutting compound. The next attempt is using this ultra cut compound. Still doesn't look too good. I think I'm going to have to go to like 2,000 and maybe 3,000 grit sandpaper for this stuff to work. I'll try it a little more. I might have a little too much water on there. If you're into this kind of masochistic behavior, notice here that the cutting compound was working. It was taking the black finish away on the bottom side. So I had to run a piece of fine line tape along here to mark off where that line is, and then turn it over and tape off all this black down here. I'm hoping that's enough. Then when I'm done polishing, I'm going to have to come back and tape off this side so that I can paint. Fun stuff, huh? I'm definitely making progress. You can mostly tell on the black here, but in the clear portion of the screen, it's hard to tell what's going on. There's a lot of scratches in here. I don't know if they're on the inside or the outside. It's much more difficult to use that buffer. I need a much smaller buffer to do this inside. Might have to figure something else out here. I'm making progress, but not enough. I don't think that the inside of this thing was sanded nearly enough. But I am going to try another little experiment. Wish me luck. I'm going to put this on the electric drill and get right in this area. See how I do. I think this has helped, I don't want to say quite a bit, but some. Been focusing on this area right here. Now I'm going to reverse the drill motor and do this area. So I'm running the drill that way so I don't catch the edge and fling this thing across the yard. Tried. I am making progress, but I do think, like I said much earlier, I wasn't sure where I left this thing off as far as sanding, and I'm sure that I should have started back at 320, went to 400, 600, 800, 1000, and then that sanding sponge, because some of the scratches just don't want to come out. But I'm going to put a polish on it and then see what it looks like on the bike, and then see if I want to spend another weekend or two trying to make it come back. Well, there you go. Now I have to figure out if I want to basically start over with the sanding or leave it like this. Yesterday I smoked a tri-tip. Today we're going to have a tri-tip pizza. There you have it. About 35 minutes later, it's ready to come off. That's going to be good. This thing takes 8 screws to secure it. I have some nice plastic screws here, the ones that I used a little while ago. Some of them stripped out. I think they were just real poor quality. These are 832 screws. These are 632 nuts. I'm going to try a little trick. I don't have any nuts for these 832 screws. .832 tap. Can I turn these 632 nuts into 832 nuts? And just push the bottom one out. Oh, there it goes. Looks like it'll work. I was hoping for a little more resistance actually. That should do it. I've got this windscreen just resting on here. I put it on with 2 of my new nutted screws. I'm not happy with this. The DA buffer did not take out all the scratches. Maybe I need to resand the whole thing. I don't know. It's just too scratchy. It's okay. I think I can do better. Does that look any better? So yeah, I broke down and bought this from Economy Cycle. It looks pretty darn good. I got some magnum holes here. I think my screw heads will cover it up. I may have to put washers on these. Right now it's just resting on here. I have these 2 screws in, and these are just sitting here. This thing could pop up at any second. I would really like to take these stickers off, but I think maybe I'll contact the company first to see if they'll come off easily. I don't want to make a big mess of things. But it fits pretty good. When these screws get tightened, hopefully this will, it's not a perfect fit here. It's kind of bowed up, unfortunately. And so this thing is all one smoke color, So now what am I going to do up here? Am I going to paint this black on the zero gravity windscreen? Or take this off and paint the red underneath black? Or leave it alone? It's not a perfect solution just yet. I have to figure out what I'm going to do about that, darn it. Here's the stock one underneath. You can see that they don't have the curvature on this that's really needed. So it takes a little pressure to get it to screw onto that fairing. See what happens when you just set it on here? It's a little slippery now. I just put a coat of wax on it. You can see I'm really going to have to squish it down there to get it to screw in. I haven't been out here in 2 or 3 weeks. The weather has just been absolutely horrible. Here it comes again. Another atmospheric river. Our new term for heavy rain. It was cold for a long time. I don't have any big excuses for the last week or so because the weather's warmed up a bit, even though it was raining still. This thing right here, apologies if you were expecting me to take it to completion. I'm not going to. It's scratched on the outside and on the inside. It really needs to be started over with the sanding process and then buffed out. This is my solution for the windscreen for this bodywork set. I think I'm going to take these stickers off. I mentioned that before. I also don't like the fitment here. That's the good side. This is the bad side. There's a good almost 3/16 of an inch overhang right here. Don't know if I want to take a file to it. This edge is nice and polished, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I won't be able to get the trim on here properly. I guess the edge doesn't need to be polished, does it, if I file this down some? We'll see. My almost final review of this zero gravity windscreen is it's pretty good. It doesn't fit perfect. It's bowing up on both sides here. I had to bend it down pretty hard to get these screws to go in. The holes are a little bit oversized. You can see, I was going to put washers on these, but I'm not going to. You can see a little bit of the hole in there. The screw head is not covering the hole on that one and that one, but I'm going to leave it. What's next? I need to take that Regina chain off. It's not master linked because I could never get the proper tool to set the master link. So this DID chain will go on there. Gotta make sure it's the right length. Pretty sure it is. I have a 90-degree fuel filter to put on the fuel line to make the final connection there.